School. Coach Scott's all right. Coach, you can introduce your players.
Okay, from left to my left to right, Ty Keats Crawford, DJ Hicks, Cole Whitlock, Kelvontae Dixon, Quentin Owens, and Rayvon Ingram.
Open the floor for questions.
Coach, you ended the first half by scoring a touchdown, take that lead, but you never lost. Talk about the momentum going into the locker room and the momentum of the back-to-back explosive touchdown plays.
Yeah, I thought it was big right before half, getting that touchdown. First of all, getting the defensive stop that we got, and then got lucky on the replay, got a little bit better field position, so we were aggressive in our 2 minute, and it was big. And then we come out and hit the big play to Kelvontae to start the second half. So I thought that was the biggest influence on the game.
Coach, how about your running game today?
No, unbelievable. We knew that our number one key was run the ball, be able to run the ball so we could get one-on-ones, and we felt good with Kel Williams and Kelvontae Dixon, obviously with one-on-ones, and Craig McNew. So we liked our one-on-ones, but we had to run the ball to get one-on-one.
Coach, you haven't started games with an offensive line. Talk about that running game and what your front five gives you that extra push to make sure that your back can run all over the field.
Well, you can do a lot of things. You can throw it and catch it in practice. You can run it and everything. But without those 5 guys, you don't do anything. They got to protect to throw it, and they got to run block to run it. And so they controlled the game. They were phenomenal all night.
Quentin, how did the defense kind of settle in as the game went along?
I think early we came out and they kind of had a little momentum and they came out firing, and we kind of settled down and stuck to our keys and we started getting stops, and we realized that this isn't as hard as we were making it at first, and we started doing everything we needed to do to get stops, and it just propelled us.
How tough was it to try to hold down Elijah Cummings?
Both of their backs were good. 21 is short. He was strong. He could run. He find holes. 6 was a good blocker, and he can run and find holes. And their old line, created space in there for them to creep through, and they were good all around. So we had to buckle down and everybody get to the football and make tackles.
Coach, this is a matchup of size. Two big teams playing against each other. What do you think was the difference maker in your defense?
I thought we were more physical, and we talked about we've got to win, be more physical to win, and be aggressive and do what we do, but we've got to be physical, and I thought we controlled the front. We did give up a couple of big plays where we missed some tackles, but we knew how good offensively they were too. They averaged over 40 points, and we held them. They're at the end we gave them the game. If it wasn't for 2 fumbles in the red zone, I think it would have been a little bit better.
Coach, can you give us a little bit of the backstory on Coach Mack and just the way he contributed to your guys' run?
Yeah, Coach Mack was our guy now. I mean, he coached me in high school. I was allowed to come to Carthage, and they held everybody's contract, and he was the only one that I kept because he made such an influence on me in high school. And, it was a tough day going in there and telling him he had passed. But we rallied around that, and, right before I told him, and we know he's looking above, and he's in heaven, and so let's go get 7. And, this thing's been for him.
You raised up the 7 fingers at the end. What's going through your head as the clock's winding down in that moment?
I don't know, something stupid. I mean, 7 championships. I mean, most coaches, I do not have one friend from my hometown that's ever won one, and so that kind of puts it in perspective. And to get even 1 is amazing, but just to keep rolling and to get a 7 is unbelievable. It's tribute to these guys. These are our captains. And, my coaches, we got the best coaches, and being able to keep the best coaches in the staff, and starting with Coach Preston on defense, and, Coach Mack was our offensive coordinator. I mean, just being able to, keep that, environment all the time. So.
Coach, how do you see other guys today? Obviously, Waco Vega, great opponent. Also, balancing, pushbacks, passing, y'all were playing for them all season long, but also just being able to finish with y'all circle last year.
Yeah, Waco La Vega, man, when you mention those guys, our programs have won the last 5 championships. And so it didn't take much motivation to get them ready, but we had a lot of motivational things, not from those guys. They're classy. The head coach, Don Hyde's, as good as I've gone up against in 30 years, and defensively. And, we just keep grinding, man. These guys have played 60 games in 4 years out of a possible 62. And we got beaten in the semis a couple times, but that's amazing. So I'm just proud of these guys.
What was the experience like coaching your first day out of Well,
it was emotional. That was the biggest deal. I mean, sometimes I'm not too much emotional guy, but it was really emotional ride, and going in that coach's locker room without him. But he's happy. We're happy right now. He is in no pain.
Kelvonte, they work to get you to coaching staff some one-on-one matchups, and you're just electrifying in spaces anyone would cover this season. Now, talk about maybe it's the first catch, like open the floodgates, and then you just started catching ball after ball, making play after play.
Well, after the first catch, I had the momentum came to me, and well, after the first catch, the momentum got to me, and then it just turned me up a little more, and then I just did what I did and got what I did.
He's electric. We're going to hold him back. We're going to redshirt him. All these guys.
Yeah, it was a big matchup, but the offensive line we already knew what we were heading into. So all week, coach was pounding us and just to make sure we blocked and had a good run game, good pass game, and everything, so Kai could get that ball off.
So one thing, signing day was a few days ago, but this happened today. Where's your mind going to be after this weekend in terms of the next step?
Well, actually, I'll probably be still looking around at where I want to go, and like what school fits me, what's best for me, and all.
All these guys will be looking. Every one of these guys will play if they want to at some level.
Coach had a chance to visit with your brother and your father. Very proud of you. You talked about their support for not just you, but your entire team, but part of the family as well.
Well, my brother's my best friend. He's Superintendent Lindale, and he's the old coach, and he didn't win much, but he's the old coach. And my dad, he's probably not going to see another game. I mean, God bless you, never know, but it's emotional times.
Coach, you said the plan was to establish the run. You had the fumble early, but what helped y'all keep pounding the ball to Mason and running behind that big offensive line? What led y'all to stick with that game plan and know it eventually pay off?
Well, we knew the thing that made us one-dimensional. Don Hyde's that good. If he makes us one-dimensional, we were going to be in trouble. So we wanted to stay balanced, and I think we did. And then when we got the lead, we started pounding it even more. Like I said, we controlled it up. The offensive line controlled it up front, and we dominated the game in the trenches right there.
The last play before the half, kind of a turning point in the action today. Talk about what you guys drew up and how you were able to sneak in the end zone and get a huge momentum score.
Well, the quarterback was pushed to the right a little bit, and he threw it to his guy. Kelvonte has been his guy, and he made a big play. He always makes big plays, but quarterback made a great play with his feet there, and we were actually going with double glances or triple glances there, and I don't know if it was open or not. It was pressure, but that was open.
DJ, we talked about you growing up, all y'all growing up watching the state championships. What's it like holding trophy number 7?
It's a big honor to be able to do this. I got banged up a little early, but just being able to watch my brothers go out there and keep working the way they have all season is just great.
Just for Rayvon and Cole, just you guys on the defensive side, on the offensive touchdown, one touchdown in the second half. Just what was this defense able to do there in the second half to really keep their offense contained?
We had a pretty good idea what they were going to do coming into this week. And we prepared hard, and we read our keys, and it really opened up for us. And Rayvon kept a lot of guys off of me and helped me make some tackles. So,
Coach, there's a lot of big plays in the game, and that 4th and 1, you just want Mason to get the first down. He goes 54 yards to the end zone. How big was it? Do you think that kind of served maybe as a little backbreaker? Because just trying to get the first down, and he breaks the touchdown. Do you think that kind of took a little bit away from the Vegas?
Yeah, I think it did. I think it was a huge play, and the block by Kel Williams, the receiver, to spring him on, that was unbelievable. But Mason had a big game for us, and offensive line. But that was a huge play in the game to get us up, a couple of touchdowns.
Coach, can you talk about watching your best players make big plays on a stage like this?
Well, that's what I talked about. We talked about it all week. It's your last game. We practice the maximum amount of practice we can, so it's time for you to play your best. Everybody in this room coach the best, and I thought that's what we did. And like I said, they made some plays. We knew they were. They're a great football team. We just made more.
Coach, you've been in 3 of the last 4 state championship games, won 3 of the last 4. How much does a loss last year before really refocus your guys and give them the ability to get back to a game like today and take over?
Well, it definitely fueled us, and we talked about the chip on our shoulder all year. It was a game last year that we felt we could win and could have won, and we'd been here last year playing La Vega, and we'd like that matchup, but it didn't happen, so we had to do whatever we could to make sure it happened this year because we felt like La Vega would be here again.
Kilmonte and then like you said, what did Coach Mack sort of add to your guys' offense, and what had he kind of meant to both of your guys' offense?
Well, actually, he changed my position from running back to receiver. And he told me, I remember him telling me, he told me I could do great things and become great.
Coach, you talked about the second half defensive effort for you guys. I thought you guys really put a lot of pressure on the quarterback and didn't allow them to get loose with the running game, make them one-dimensional, which you obviously you didn't want them to have to do that to you either.
Right. I thought the only play we give up the second half because we were in a different defense when they scored there at the end, trying to let them melt the clock a little bit. But I think the big run the young man had was unbelievable. I think he broke 7 or 8 tackles, and I think that's pretty much the only play they had the second half. We played great on defense, and we always do. We wasn't happy last week at all. This defense was not happy. We knew they were hungry. We had a beat on these guys, and Coach Preston and his staff done a phenomenal job, and we executed the game plan.
Rayvon, 7 and 13 years, what is it about this Carthage program that has made that happen?
It's really just working hard every day. The coaches push us and just working hard every day.
Coach, how you keep that fire lit? You talk about the 7 and 13 years. I know every year coming in has got to be something different for us, especially what you tell us because what is it, something to want?
Well, it's always about the next ring, man. It's about the people that played before us, and it's the little Bulldogs coming up, and you got to keep practicing hard, keep playing. It's so competitive around our place. We've had some guys that started early and then didn't start tonight, and we try to keep a competitive atmosphere in practice and games. You're not playing well, then we got guys that can go in. So I think that's probably the key.
Coach, a lot going on. Very emotional. Just kind of speak on, what does this win do for you? And family, it's such a tough time.
Well, I hope it gets us a raise. Talking about family, but anyway, it means the world. I know there's no secret, that I'm an elite, but it's all these guys. It's all these guys. It takes a great wife. It's a whole team of people. It's administration. You don't have a bad administration and do what we've done. You don't have a bad wife, coaches' wives, and do what we do. But then it comes down to the players and buying in everything you do and what we do. And, I'm not saying we're going to be back next year, but we're going to do whatever we can to be back here again and do it again.
2 more questions.
DJ, Galante, operator name number 80.
Quinn.
You guys are 7 championships in the last 12 years, and everything you guys have accomplished. You guys growing up in Carthage, how much does this mean to you as it's sinking into you guys and you just became a part of that legacy?
Actually, I played one state my sophomore year, but this one is amazing because, it's my last game as a high school player with my brothers here. And, we worked day one, year in and year out, and, the loss last year, I think it lit a fire in us that, something we really don't feel too often because I believe that's our only loss we ever had in high school in football for my class. And, we work every day and, we were determined to get back here and, win for this culture and for the people in the Carthage.
Somebody go.
Come on, let's go. I'm going to kick these guys off the team.
Just being able to do this, I remember being a freshman riding in the travel gear on the yellow bus late after the game. And I looked and I said, I want to be a part of this. So when we got here, our sophomore year, the summer, we worked hard. All of us did. We worked hard. We got here and we got to do it ourselves.
Well, as we grew coming from our freshman year, they all actually came together and we did, and it was just amazing.
Yeah, we had 32 seniors. And these are 6 of them, but they're the captains.
Last question.
Coach, one player that's not up to this stage that you're going to have coming back next year is obviously your quarterback, Kai Horton. Incredibly poised, makes smart decisions, doesn't turn the football over, and made some really big throws in this football game. Speak to what he gave you this season, more specifically, what he gave you this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many touchdowns he threw today, maybe 2 or 3, I don't know, but he's played well for us. It was 46-6. We don't do too many things out of a quarterback for stats. It's just TD interception ratio and completion percentage, and he was over 60%, and then 46-6 going into the 9. I know he didn't throw a pick, so at least 48-6. That's a hell of a year, and heck of a year, excuse me. And you know, he did a great job. He had big shoes to fill from last year, just like the next quarterback will have when he leaves. But we expect it's a quarterback-driven offense, and they're the coach on the field, and he's done a phenomenal job.
All right, thank you.